Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the English Learning Podcast. I'm Jason, your host, and as always, I have my amazing co-host, Julia, here with me.
Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be here today. We have a really important topic for all of you who want to speak English fluently and confidently.
Yes, that's right. Today, we're going to talk about how you can not just speak English, but speak it confidently without fear, without hesitation, and without worrying about mistakes.
And trust me, I know so many learners feel nervous when speaking English. You might understand English perfectly, but when it's your turn to talk, your mind goes blank.
Exactly. And that's completely normal. But the good news is, fluency and confidence are skills. They can be learned, practiced, and improved. And by the end of this episode, you'll have practical tips to start speaking more naturally and feel more confident in English.
Plus, we're going to give you some simple exercises you can start doing today, even if you only have 10 to 15 minutes a day.
So, whether you're at home on a break at work, or just relaxing with a cup of tea, this episode is for you. Get ready to speak English like never before.
Let's dive in and start building your fluency and confidence together. Are you ready, Jason?
I'm ready. Let's go. All right, Julia. Before we dive into tips and exercises, let's talk about something very important. What does it really mean to be fluent and confident in English?
Yes. A lot of learners think fluency means speaking perfectly without any mistakes. But that's not true. Fluency is about speaking smoothly, naturally, and being able to express your thoughts clearly.
Exactly. And confidence is a little different. You can be fluent, but if you're afraid of making mistakes or worried about what others think, your speaking will still feel awkward.
So, fluency is like the flow of your words, and confidence is the belief in yourself while speaking. When you have both, you can speak English freely, even if it's not perfect.
And here's a secret. Even native speakers make mistakes. The difference is, they don't let mistakes stop them. They keep talking, keep expressing, and that's how real communication happens.
That's why the first step is to stop aiming for perfection. Focus on being understood and expressing yourself. The words will flow better and your confidence will grow naturally.
Yes. So, if you remember nothing else from this section, remember this. Fluency is about flow. Confidence is about courage. Together, they make you a powerful speaker.
Perfect. And in the next part, we'll talk about why so many learners understand English but still struggle to speak.
All right, Julia. Now let's talk about something that many learners experience. You know, when you understand English perfectly, but the moment you have to speak, it feels like your brain stops.
Oh yes, Jason. I've seen so many students in this situation. They can watch English movies, listen to podcasts, even read books. But when someone asks them a simple question in English, they freeze.
Exactly. And there are a few main reasons for this. First, there's fear of making mistakes. Many learners worry that if they say a word wrong, people will laugh or judge them.
Yes. And second, translating from your native language. Instead of thinking in English, you try to form sentences in your head in your own language first, and then translate. This takes time and makes speaking slow and stressful.
The third reason is overthinking grammar. Learners think, I must say the sentence perfectly, with correct tense and all. But this often stops them from speaking at all.
And the last reason is lack of speaking practice. Understanding English is one thing, but speaking is a different skill. If you don't practice speaking regularly, your brain isn't used to producing English on the spot.
Yes, Julia. So, even if you understand everything, these barriers, fear, translation, overthinking, and lack of practice can make it feel impossible to speak confidently.
The good news? All of these challenges can be overcome. With the right mindset and simple daily habits, speaking English fluently becomes much easier.
Absolutely. And in our next section, we'll talk about the confidence problem, why fear, shyness, and self-doubt stop so many learners from speaking. All right, Julia, so now we know why learners understand English but can't speak. But a big part of the problem is confidence. Fear, shyness, and self-doubt can really hold people back.
Absolutely, Jason. I see this so often. Learners know the words, they know the grammar, but they hesitate because they're afraid of making mistakes or being judged. That fear can be paralyzing.
Exactly. And it's normal to feel this way. Even I remember when I was learning another language as a kid, I was terrified of speaking in front of others. My hands would get sweaty, and my mind would go blank.
Oh, yes, Jason. And sometimes this fear comes from past experiences, like someone laughing at you or correcting you too harshly. Or maybe you compare yourself to others who speak better, and that makes you feel shy.
That's right. But here's the key. Confidence is not about being perfect. Confidence is about taking action despite fear. Even if you make mistakes, the more you speak, the more your confidence grows.
Yes, think about it this way. Each time you speak English, even imperfectly, you're training your brain and your mouth to communicate naturally. Small steps every day build big confidence over time.
Exactly. And don't forget body language. Standing or sitting tall, smiling, and speaking clearly can actually make you feel more confident, even if you're nervous inside.
So, fear, shyness, and self-doubt are normal, but they don't have to stop you. The key is to practice. Keep speaking and celebrate every small win.
Perfect. And in the next section, we'll talk about how fluency is actually built step by step and why it's a skill anyone can learn. All right, Julia, so we've talked about confidence, fear, and shyness. Now, let's discuss something really important: fluency. Many learners think, I'm not talented, I'll never be fluent. But that's a myth.
Exactly, Jason. Fluency is not something you're born with. It's a skill like playing a sport or learning to play the piano. The more you practice, the better you get.
Yes, and the first thing to understand is that fluency is about communication, not perfection. You don't need perfect grammar or fancy words to be fluent. What matters is that people understand you.
Right. And fluency comes from consistent daily practice. Even if you only practice for 10 to 15 minutes a day, your brain and mouth get used to producing English naturally. Over time, speaking becomes easier and faster.
Another key point is thinking in English. Stop translating from your native language. When you start forming sentences directly in English, your fluency improves naturally.
Yes, and don't forget listening and repeating. Watching movies, listening to podcasts, or repeating short sentences out loud helps you get used to the rhythm, tone, and flow of English.
And here's the best part: at making mistakes is part of learning. Every time you speak, even with errors, you're building your fluency. The more you speak, the faster your brain adapts.
So, remember, fluency is built step by step, day by day. It's a skill anyone can develop with patience and practice. You just need to keep speaking, keep learning, and keep moving forward.
Exactly. And in the next section, we'll talk about practical daily habits that will help you speak English fluently every single day. All right, Julia. Now we're getting into the fun part, the daily habits that can help you speak English fluently. These are simple things you can do every day, even if you only have a few minutes.
Yes. And the great thing is, you don't need to spend hours studying. Small, consistent practice is what really works. Let's start with the first habit, thinking in English.
Exactly. Instead of translating from your native language, try to think directly in English. For example, if you see a cup of coffee, think, "This is a hot cup of coffee. I want to drink it." It sounds simple, but it trains your brain to form sentences naturally.
The second habit is speaking out loud even when you're alone. Don't just practice in your head. Read a paragraph from a book, repeat a podcast sentence, or describe your day aloud. Your mouth and brain get used to producing English, and that's key for fluency.
Yes. And another really powerful habit is shadowing. This means listening to a short audio, maybe a sentence or two, and immediately repeating it, trying to copy the pronunciation, tone, and speed. It's like training with a coach for your English speaking.
I love that one. And don't forget simple sentence practice. Pick 5 to 10 sentences every day and practice them until you can say them smoothly. You can even make your own sentences about your life, talking about what you eat, what you do, or what you like.
And here's a bonus habit. Record yourself speaking. Listen to yourself and notice small improvements. At first, it might feel strange, but over time, you'll hear how much more fluent you're becoming.
So, to summarize, the key daily habits are: think in English, speak out loud, even alone, shadow audio sentences, practice simple sentences about your life, record and listen to yourself.
Exactly. Do these habits consistently, even for 10 to 15 minutes a day, and your fluency will improve faster than you imagine.
And in the next section, we'll focus on how to build confidence while speaking, because fluency alone isn't enough. Confidence makes all the difference.
All right, Julia, we've talked a lot about fluency, but now let's focus on confidence. Fluency is important, but without confidence, it's hard to speak comfortably.
Yes, Jason. Confidence is really the key to speaking English naturally. Even if you know all the words, if you feel nervous or shy, your sentences may stumble. So how do we build it?
The first step is accepting mistakes. Remember, making mistakes is normal. It's part of learning. Every mistake is actually helping you improve, so don't be afraid of them.
Exactly. The second step is using simple words and short sentences. You don't need complicated vocabulary to speak confidently. Speaking clearly and simply is always better than trying to sound perfect.
Another important point is body language and tone. Standing or sitting tall, smiling, and speaking with a calm voice makes you feel more confident even if your words aren't perfect.
And don't forget, celebrate small wins. Every time you speak English, even one sentence, you're making progress. Recognize it, and it will motivate you to speak more.
Also, practice speaking in safe spaces first. Talk to friends, language partners, or even yourself at home. The more you practice in low-pressure situations, the easier it gets to speak confidently anywhere.
So to summarize, confidence grows when you accept mistakes, use simple words, focus on body language and tone, celebrate small wins, practice regularly in safe spaces.
Exactly. With confidence and fluency together, you can express yourself naturally, enjoy conversations, and stop worrying about being judged.
And in the next section, we'll talk about common mistakes that stop fluency and confidence and how to avoid them.
All right, Julia, we've talked about fluency and confidence, but many learners still struggle because of common mistakes that slow them down. Let's go through the main ones.
Yes. The first mistake is waiting for perfect grammar. Learners often think, I can't speak until it's perfect, but in reality, waiting for perfection stops you from speaking at all.
Exactly. The second mistake is memorizing sentences without using them. It's good to practice, but if you only memorize and never speak, you won't be able to use English naturally in real conversations.
Another big mistake is comparing yourself to others. You might think, my friend speaks better than me, so I can't talk. That mindset kills confidence. Everyone learns at their own pace.
Yes, and one more mistake is overthinking. Trying to translate every word, worrying about tenses, or planning sentences in your head too much slows down your speaking.
So the key is to focus on communication, not perfection. Speak as much as you can, make mistakes, and keep learning from them. That's how fluency and confidence grow.
Exactly. Avoid these mistakes, and you'll notice your English flowing more naturally and your confidence growing every day.
And next, we'll do something fun, a mini conversation exercise that you can practice along with us. It's a great way to start speaking right away.
All right, Julia. Now it's time for some practice. Let's do a short mini conversation that our listeners can repeat along with us. Are you ready?
I'm ready. And listeners, make sure you speak out loud with us. Don't just listen. Your mouth and brain need the practice.
Okay, let's start. I'll be person A, Julia will be person B, and you can repeat either role. Hi, Julia. How are you today?
Hi, Jason. I'm good, thank you. How about you?
I'm great. Thanks. Did you do anything interesting today?
Yes, I practiced speaking English for 15 minutes. It was fun.
That's amazing. Practicing every day really helps with fluency and confidence.
Exactly. And listeners, now it's your turn. Repeat the conversation and try saying it with your own words. You can even change the questions or answers to make it personal.
Remember, the goal is speaking comfortably, not perfectly. Keep practicing these mini conversations every day, and your fluency will improve quickly.
Yes. Small daily conversations like this build big confidence over time.
All right, Julia, we've covered a lot today: fluency, confidence, daily habits, and even practiced a mini conversation. Before we finish, let's leave our listeners with some motivation.
Yes, Jason. Remember, learning English is a journey. You don't need to be perfect. Every word you speak, every sentence you try is a step forward. Celebrate your progress no matter how small.
Exactly. Consistency is the real key. Just a few minutes of practice every day adds up. Keep speaking, keep listening, and don't let fear or mistakes stop you.
And one more thing, believe in yourself. Confidence grows when you take action. So start today, start now, and speak English every chance you get.
Absolutely. And listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the English Learning Podcast.
Yes, and don't forget to leave a comment and tell us what you'll practice today. We love hearing your progress.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Keep practicing, stay confident, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone. Keep speaking English and enjoy the journey.